The House Oversight Committee is taking the next steps toward holding Bill and Hillary Clinton in contempt of Congress. They're expected to approve two resolutions today after the former president and Secretary of State defied subpoenas to testify about Jeffrey Epstein. The Clintons insist they had no personal knowledge of Epstein's crimes and accuse the committee of partisan politics. The resolutions will set the stage for a full vote in the House. ABC's Jay O'Brien is on Capitol Hill with more. Hi, Jay. What's the latest here?
Yeah, Diane, we're standing right outside that Oversight Committee markup where they're going through now the resolution to bring this contempt against both Bill and Hillary Clinton for missing their subpoenaed scheduled testimony with the Oversight Committee last week. The committee has said, Republicans on the committee, that the Clintons are in clear defiance of these subpoenas, which received, when they were voted on some months back, bipartisan support, is what Chair James Comer has said. Republicans on the committee say that they're going to hold the Clintons accountable, and they've repeated the phrase that they are not, quote unquote, above the law. But the Clintons have hit back, saying that they're being treated differently than other witnesses who were subpoenaed before this committee, that they offered to deliver sworn statements to the committee the way other subpoenaed witnesses had, like former attorneys general and former directors of the FBI who had knowledge about investigations into Jeffrey Epstein. They even said, according to a spokesperson, that they would sit down individually with the chair of this committee, James Comer, and the ranking member on this committee, the top Democrat, and have an interview either at their offices in New York or somewhere behind closed doors, to which the committee rejected. So the Clintons are saying they're being treated differently than other witnesses. I asked Hakeem Jeffries, the top Democrat in the House, as he was passing through in this hallway, would it be easier if the Clintons just complied with the subpoena and put all of this behind them? Here's what he told me.
But should the Clintons just sit down with the committee so we can...
The Clintons are engaging in good faith negotiations. In fact, it's my understanding they have offered. No one's taken James Comer's subpoena seriously. He's a joke. He's an embarrassment. He's a malignant clown. Like, there's no reason for us to take James Comer seriously.
But isn't that what Republicans said the last time, that they don't have to take it seriously?
Does anyone think that James Comer and House Republicans are really interested in finding the truth here? They had to be forced to even sign on to our efforts to release these files. Congress passes a bill in a strongly bipartisan way. Donald Trump signs it into law. The Department of Justice is under obligation right now to release 5 million documents, and they've released around 13,000. Thank you all.
You heard him there at the end talking about that law that was passed some weeks back, the Epstein Files Transparency Act, that compels the Department of Justice to release all of its Jeffrey Epstein files. They're now well out of compliance with that law, having only released a fraction of the Epstein records that the DOJ has. And we expect Democrats to bring that up time and time again in this hearing here. There was already an attempt from one Democrat to hold Attorney General Pam Bondi in contempt, like this committee is considering holding the Clintons in contempt, because the Department of Justice has not released those Epstein records as required by law. The move was done out of order. It was said to be out of order by Chairman Comer, but expect Democrats to continue to try to make that point over and over again. And it's a point that we've heard some Republicans be sympathetic to, because there was broad bipartisan support, remember, for that law to compel the release of these files.
All right, Jay O'Brien for us on Capitol Hill. Jay, thank you.